I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence, but unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle.
While most of the country focuses on supporting or bashing Luigi Mangione and the many that have celebrated the murder of that healthcare CEO, his attorney, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, is pointing out the reckless way government officials have also used him for their own purposes. Well, one government official in particular.
He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea it was in their arsenal. And to have all of the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows, under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has held it to be clearly established that these staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone of the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione. And there are consequences to this.
She focused in on troubled New York City Mayor Eric Adams and his obvious strategy of asserting himself in this case for the purpose of rehabilitating his image after being brought up on bribery and campaign finance charges. She even brought up the legal precedent that explicitly states using a perp walk in front of the media for political purposes is unconstitutional. But she didn't even have to accuse him of it because his ass did it to himself.
Why did you feel the need to go to the heliport and actually greet him once he got off that helicopter?
So I was at a conference a few days ago with the top CEOs, IBM, Deloitte. It was a room full of CEOs and governmental officials. And the shooting, the intentional shooting, and the response after really traumatized the entire industry. Not only the CEOs, but the employees. People forget that. And I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and stated that you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city that the people of New York love, and I wanted to be there to show the symbolism of that.
I wanted to be there to show the symbolism, he said. Nothing to do with contributing to anything related to the law, but to insert himself into the case so that traumatized CEOs and government officials would know that he's there to represent them. He didn't know that he tossed that alley-oop up to Mangione's attorney, but she was there for the finish.
He has a right to a fair trial, and I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example, and he said, I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love. And he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected him that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop.
It wasn't only the perp walk, an announcement to the people of New York that he solely represents the interests and fears of CEOs and corporations. Eric Adams held press conferences explicitly proving her point of tainting the jury pool over and over. This case might have gotten much tougher to get done because of this guy.
Think about the shooter. Ivy League, grew up in an affluent household. His manifesto clearly is showing some signs of hating. Our children are being radicalized. I said this over and over again. Everybody's like, what are you talking about, Eric? Our children are being radicalized to hate the America, to hate the country that put them where they are. This person had all that one wants to have, but he hated everything to the point of shooting someone. And we better deal with the radicalization of our young people. And, people could, they could complain that I'm saying it, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing our bench is hating the team. And we better start acknowledging and focusing on that.
His intense eagerness to promote himself as a guy that's so disgusted by the response from both Democratic and Republican supporters, by the way, started to get another objective of his accomplished, though.
Consider pardoning Eric Adams?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago. I know probably everybody here has been upgraded. They see you're all stars, and they say, I want to upgrade that person from NBC. I'm going to upgrade him. And that would mean you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. I don't know. Somehow, I hope not. I'd have to see it because I don't know the facts. I think he was treated. It's very interesting. When he essentially went against what was happening with the migrants coming in. And, he made some pretty strong statements like, this is not sustainable. I said, you know what, he'll be indicted soon. And I said it not as a prediction, a little bit lightheartedly, but I said it. I said, he's going to be indicted. And a few months later, he got indicted. So, yeah, I would certainly look at it.
As soon as Trump was asked if he'd pardon Adams and he made this face, I can damn near guarantee you that he was thinking of how pardoning him would benefit himself. He's openly talked about and has been busted for being transactional in nearly every decision and partnership that he makes without a second thought about the corruption behind it. It was pretty clear that he knew nothing about this case, but would consider a pardon because of how great it would be to have the mayor of New York City squarely in his pocket.
Asked if he would consider pardoning you the other day, and here's what he said. Have you asked for the president-elect to pardon you?
I did not ask him that, and in our conversations, we both expressed our love for the city, and the years he was in office, they were combated. I'm working with the president and his administration, not warring with him. I say that quote over and over again. And my attorney is an excellent attorney. He's going to handle every avenue to pursue justice. I should not have been charged. No American should go through what I'm going through right now. This country believes in fairness, and what I'm experiencing is not only a professional tragedy, it's a personal tragedy.
He didn't ask Trump for a pardon, but he definitely signaled that he's on his side with every political beef and agenda item that he wants to pursue, just in case Trump would pick up on what he's laying down. And in case that still didn't penetrate, the signal that he may be open to assisting his objectives, in addition to buttering Trump up as some kind of patriot that's been abused by the criminal justice system, definitely should.
Would you ever consider rejoining the GOP?
The party that's the most important for me is the American Party. I'm a part of the American Party. I love this country. This is the home of the free, the land of the brave. My 19-year-old nephew died on the fields of Vietnam, protecting what this city and this country represents. And that's the party I'm going to always be a member of. And I did it as a police officer when I wore that bulletproof vest for 22 years. And I'm going to do it with this blue suit as the mayor of the city of New York.
In New York, President-elect Trump has been charged with a lot of things here. This is happening to you here. Is this something that has infected this district? Why do you think here this is going on?
I started looking at my case and reading through it, and then I started to just go and search what has happened to other people. Not only to President-elect Trump, but there are other great patriots that have gone through a difficult period of time. And when you look at the amount of money you have to spend in defending yourself. You saw the leaks that were being slipped out and reported constantly. And as much as we ask the federal government, can you stop leaking this and allow us to have our opportunities to defend ourselves? And it's almost as though you have your hands tied behind your back.